Have you ever wondered whether the problems in the world today would exist if we had deeper connection to ourselves, others, and the environment and acted from that place?
Welcome to the Conscious Action Podcast with your hosts Brian Berneman and Kayla Greenville, who believe that connection is the key to taking conscious action as individuals and creating a better world.
We are here to raise awareness and inspire meaningful action by sharing stories, knowledge, and conversations with thought leaders and change makers.
From sustainability to well-being and everything related to conscious living, our mission is to empower you to be the change that you want to see in the world. Welcome to a new episode of the Conscious Action Podcast. I am Brian Berneman, your host. And for this episode, which is a solo episode, I wanted to talk about something that has been alive lately with all of my work and all of the people that have been part of my life at the moment working with, as well as with some of the episodes that we just launched recently. And that is about all of the possibilities that we have in life. There's endless possibilities if we want to see life in that way. And what does that mean for our lives? To know that we have the opportunity to choose differently. We have the opportunity to see life from a different perspective and to actually create the change in our lives. Now, of course, there's a lot here, and this sometimes can get into a really interesting conversation, and has been what I've been having with a lot of people lately, and this is understanding how we usually operate and how we identify with certain aspects of ourselves and how we might believe that they are true. And if they are true, that means that we cannot be anything else. So as an example, if I believe that I'm a shy person, then I am shy. If I believe that I'm an introvert, then I'm an introvert. If I believe that I'm an extrovert, then I'm an extrovert. And that, putting ourselves in a box, putting ourselves in those labels, what they do is that they keep us living small. And when we wake up to the endless possibilities of lives, we can start to play big. We can allow ourselves to create a whole different life for ourselves that seems to be impossible, that seems to be super big, but it can happen. Having sometimes these goals or dreams that are massive, sometimes that is what can take us there. And by allowing ourselves to reframe our lives, to reframe how we operate, both consciously and subconsciously, our operating system that is there when we're living in automatic pilot, how can we change that and how can we change our conscious mind? So one of the ways that I've been talking about this with some of my clients lately has been to be able to see that what we believe about ourselves might not be true, might be an illusion. And if it's an illusion, and yet that becomes a reality in a sense, why can't we choose another illusion? So if I am choosing the life of playing small, of being unhappy, being stressed out, why can't I choose one when there's abundance, flow, love, everything that I want? And as well, this comes back to understanding that we can work with our conscious mind and we can introduce practices and be disciplined and use repetition as the way to change our ways, to change how our neural pathways are working, to understand how new, more healthy, and behaviors that serve us are actually going to be there. And as well, understanding how to live from a multidimensional standpoint. I love that nowadays, even in mainstream movies like Marvel, like they talk about the multiverse. And I actually believe that that, of course, is real, perhaps not in the same way as they show it, but we are only one part of our being as a fractal, as one of its facets. And there's endless possibilities of how we are living, which means that there might be in the multiverse a Brian that this morning, instead of waking up and coming here to record this, went to travel somewhere, which means that they start to branch out, and every little decision that he has made makes him have a different reality. And that means that there's multiple Brians that are living in multiple countries, that are living even perhaps not even in this planet, that are some of them trillionaires, billionaires, other ones are really poor, other ones have found love, other ones are lonely. Like there's a multitude of them. But if I can tap into those that actually already achieved what I'm wanting to achieve, then I can bring that energy in. I can allow myself to tap into that energy. I can allow myself to call in for that. And when we do that, especially when we are allowing ourselves to be in a space that we allow our vibrational frequency to tap into the theta vibration and frequency, we allow ourselves to reprogram who we are. So we've been doing a lot of meditations with vibration and frequency to get us to that place, and then bring in those qualities, those new programs. We are then loading them from those places that are already there, even if we cannot see them, even if for some reason we might not be that open to that, that's there. That's like one of the things that I said to one of my clients, and I love this, is there's so many things that we believe in that we don't see. As an example, if you use Wi-Fi, have you ever seen Wi-Fi traveling throughout the space? Or do you just put your computer or your phone and you use it and it's like magic? That is there. Since just because you cannot see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So can you be open to the possibility that those other versions of yourselves exist? That there's other universes or multiverses, different dimensions in which you operate differently because you have made different decisions. And therefore, you can understand that at any given point in your life, you can rewrite your life. I will say that again. At any point in your life, you can rewrite the story of your life. Whatever has been your experience up until this moment, you can choose differently. Now, of course, it might be some work that needs to be done. It might be that we need some relearning, reconnecting, some integration and healing work, but it is possible. It's possible as well without all of that, if we are open. And we need to be open, and we need to be open to not only that that exists, but we need to have confidence and trust in that. And that is unwavering confidence. When we can get to that place, it's so amazing because we can tap into everything that is there, not just from our versions of ourselves that are out there, but also any other person's potential, whether they are alive here or not, whether there is qualities that we want to call in. We can do that any moment that we want. This is like understanding that we have been playing a game and we didn't understand the rules of that game. As if we are in the Matrix and we can just download anything. And then we know that if I want to download knowing Kung Fu like Neo, I can do that. So I need to be open. You need to be open to that. And in that openness, we start to change our reality as well. How can we call more of that energy? How can we allow that then to be materialized in this reality that we perceive that is linear, that there's such a thing as time and space? When we allow ourselves to open to those endless possibilities, life can be so magical. And it is a mystery, and we don't need to have everything figured out. Because what's interesting about that is that life is about experiencing, about experimenting, about playing within this game of life. And we place so much heaviness into a lot of things just because we've been conditioned that way. So we need to understand our programming. We need to understand the ways that we've been conditioned, what we've been taught, what's ours and what's not. What have we been taking on? So what have you been taking on that you're completely unaware of? And there's millions of things there. This is the work. Understanding how to do that. Understanding how to create the time to question, to do that self-inquiry work, to see, why am I placing so much importance in work, as an example? Because if I die tomorrow, does that matter? What matters really? And because we've been going so fast, moving around, trying to go, I don't know where, but society tells us that we're going somewhere and we need to do that fast and we need to do all of these different things. We have been caught up doing things that don't matter to us. It's not about anybody else, it's about us. And understanding what game do you want to be playing? What type of experience do you want to have? And yes, we live in co-creation. Yes, we live in a collective. Yes, we live as part of the system. We are a community, a living community of energy cells inside our body, outside our body, with everybody else. We are all part of one, yet we have a unique dynamic configuration of energy that allows us to experience this in a different way, from a different lens, a different perspective than other people. So how are you choosing to live your life? How do you want to play? How do you want to find what brings you alive? How do you want to allow more? Because there's infinite possibilities out there. There is so much. And all that we need to do is to be open to that, open to tapping into that energy, because that's already there. So knowing that any given point, you can choose differently. You can take action, and you can start doing that. So I would really recommend you to explore this concept. Can you be open to what I've been talking about, to these endless possibilities, to these, in a sense, parallel universes and versions of yourself, to the fact that you can recreate and rewrite your story at any given moment? If you don't know where to start, reach out, we can talk about it. If you feel like you have too many blockages in your way and you want to integrate them and heal them, reach out, we can do that. Or find someone that you resonate and do that. Because there's no point in living small and not doing what you want to be doing in your life. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being there. Thank you for doing the work on yourself to find your true essence, because that's what we need more in the world. Thank you, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye.
What did you like the most about this episode? Take a moment to think about what change you can make in your life today.
Share your conscious action on social media using #ConsciousAction and tagging @ConsciousActionNZ so we can celebrate your impact on the world and create a ripple effect.
One easy action we would love for you to take right now is to share, like, and subscribe to this podcast. This will help us get these messages out into the world and inspire more people to take conscious action in their own lives, contributing to the better world we hope for.